Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great one lined up for you this morning. Got a real good one lined up for you this morning. I can't wait to hear how y'all gonna respond to this question we got today. Can't wait to see how y'all gonna respond to this question we got today. I'm gonna tell you something. It is a doozy. It is a how they say it, Leonard? It's a doozy. It's a slobber knocker. It's a slobber knocker. You heard me say it, Leonard? A slobber knocker. Oh Lord, I can't hear it, Leonard. Hold on for a minute. Hold on, let me unmute. I can't hear it. There you go. It's a slobber knocker.
That's an ugly word.
Yeah, yes, sir. Man, how was your weekend, Leonard? What you doing this weekend, man? I heard, I smelled somebody cooking on the grill this weekend. That one.
Yeah, I actually cooked on the grill this weekend. I don't think I've done that in a year.
Oh man, what you put on there? How did it turn out?
Oh, it turned out good. I do. Of course, I don't eat a lot of stuff, so I did cook for other folks, steak and things like that.
Oh, okay.
And cook this weekend mostly for people. Yeah.
You don't come on now. You don't eat beef and all that stuff, do you?
No, I don't. No.
Yeah. You just like me, man.
I'll eat turkey and I will eat lamb from time to time.
Yeah. Only thing I eat is chicken, fish, and turkey. I don't eat beef or pork or nothing like that. I don't eat anything fried, and so the grill is perfect for me, man. I put me chicken or something on the grill, man, and some hawthorn pepper, and I'm good to go. Anna, good morning. How you doing, young lady?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Turn your mic up for me a little bit.
It's all the way up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it went a little louder when you did something just now. It went a little bit louder on me, so that was good. Want to make sure we can hear you. Want to make sure we can hear you over there. Okay. And how was your weekend? I don't know what you do the weekend.
Well, I went to go see a client. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
I went to go see a client for DKM Media Group and Associates.
How'd that go? How did that work out?
Oh, that was interesting. But culture differences always make things interesting.
Brings a different dynamic to it every time, I tell you.
Yeah. So I still practice social distancing, have my gloves on, mask on. So, although they're lifting all of this stuff, I see the numbers are still going up. But meanwhile, I'm reading that the numbers are going, or somebody saying on TV, let's not say names. They're saying on TV that the numbers are going down, but that's not what I'm reading. So I continue doing it.
That wouldn't be 45 saying that, is it?
No, that's who runs the state.
45. Oh. You talking about Governor Wimp? I mean, Kemp.
That was good.
Oh, my bad. Slip of the tongue. Excuse me.
So yeah, I did that. I meant to put up a video, which I will do. I did put one up while I was at a red light, just reminding people to social distance, because the little bit of time that I did go out, it was a beautiful weekend, by the way. The little bit of time, I noticed that there was people without any type of PPE, aka protective gear. So just make sure you guys, continue to practice safe distancing and protecting. Act as if you're sick. So that no one else gets sick. And that's the way I always look at it. That's the way I always say it. I got Mr. Donald Toussaint's personally signed book this weekend, which I started reading.
Okay.
So I can't wait to the finish because he wants me to tell him all about it. Hey, sweetheart. And I watched church. I watched many people's church this weekend. I there was different links all over. So I said, let me watch everybody. So I did that, and then I just relaxed. I did no cooking or nothing. Salads.
You know what? You can have church in your nightgown now. You can have church in your nightgown. Just click to the channel and have church in your living room and your wherever you want to in your nightgown. You ain't gotta get dressed up no more.
I didn't do nightgown. I just did house clothes. That's a little weird to me. Like I feel like they're watching me.
Look, look. My thing is, look, God, I ain't gotta dress up. God, you already know what I look like. What I got?
Other people
God. I'm coming to you, God. They ain't gotta dress up, God. You already know who I is.
You're silly.
Good morning, Christy. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Glow fam.
Good morning, Christy.
How are y'all today?
Good.
Yeah,
All right.
doing good. How was your weekend, Christy? What you do?
Oh, nothing. I just spent time with my family. We stayed quarantined. We didn't do anything special because I still believe Corona's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So we just stayed in the house and watched some movies on Netflix, Amazon Prime. Cleaned up a little bit. Sunday I went to church online to the various churches that are online, like Miss Anna. I call myself just like, okay, I'll just catch them on the backside. If I wasn't part of the watch party, I went back and watched them. And then we just made some Rice Krispie treats and went to sleep.
Oh Lord, y'all sound like y'all had all y'all had a fest this weekend. That's good.
With family.
Yeah.
There you go.
With family.
Exactly. What I did, I shot a short this weekend. I shot a short film this weekend. I'm going to start editing it and everything and
go ahead,
get it out there. I finished editing, and I want to send this to y'all. I'm not gonna put it out there. So when I send it to y'all look at it and give me y'all input on what y'all think. It's this is a documentary that I shot. I shot this thing a while back, and I said, well, let me go ahead on and edit it. So I finished editing that. I finished it last night about 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock last night, and uploaded that. So I'm gonna send a copy of that. I want y'all to look at it. Tell me what y'all think. Honest opinion. Anna, she gonna give me an honest opinion. She said, look, I don't like that. She know what I'm talking about. She know exactly what I'm talking about. We got a couple of people on the phone line. Who we got on the phone line this morning? Caller, what's your
Flipper, what's going on?
Mr. Flipper?
What's going on, man?
Man, how you feeling, brother?
That's what I was gonna ask.
I feel great.
You feel great? Good. Good. Look at God. Look at God. God is good. Oh well, and God is good.
God singing this weekend too.
Yeah, God will do it when look at it, Lord Jesus. God will do it. I'm gonna tell you something. God will do it for you when man can't do it. God will step in and He'll do it for you. Look, I'm Mr. Flipper. I'm glad to hear you feeling better, brother. I really am.
I've been praying for you a lot, so I'm glad to hear that myself.
Look at God. Look at God. Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me. I lost myself for a second. Let me come back. We got another caller. On the line. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Elgin.
Elgin.
Hey! Wow, I thought
Oh, Lord,
or something on us.
Look at man. She almost fell over when you said your name, brother. She almost fell over. She fell over. How was your weekend, brother? Everything good?
Everything's good. Still been hanging out with mom.
Okay.
Mom and my sister and everything, like a mini family reunion.
Okay, that's good.
All is well, man.
Good deal. Well, we got a topic we're gonna talk about this morning. We got a topic we're gonna talk about this morning, and I want to get into each and every one of y'all hearts in a different way. But I want to be like I'm in the ocean. I want to be like I'm in the ocean swimming for seashells this morning. When I get into your heart, y'all know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. And like you done froze up on me over there.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. I wanna when I get into your heart, I want to be like I'm a diver swimming for seashores. I want to go all the way to the bottom of your heart, and I want to hear what y'all say about this. Okay, is that fair now?
Maybe.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Christy, I ain't messing with Anna. Christy, I'm coming to you first with this question, and I want to hear your heart on this.
Oh goodness,
Is a man less than a man if he cheats?
That's why I said maybe.
she saw the flower.
You know what? I'm gonna answer this question. You know, it's always Raheem always asks these questions that have 2 flip sides, about 20 different sides to it. So, are you less than a man? It just depends on what's going on in a relationship and why you're cheating. But you still have to be man enough to tell that person that you don't want to be with them, or you know, don't. That's my only problem with men that do cheat. It's like if you want that person that you with, then be with that person. If you want to be out there doing all the stuff that you're doing, then go ahead and let that woman go, you know, and let her find somebody else that won't cheat on her. And I feel like you are in an aspect less than a man, and the part that makes you less is the fact that you cannot come to grips to yourself saying, hey, and now if everybody in your entourage know what's going on and choose still to be with you, stay with you or whatever, then that's okay. But I feel like the dishonesty part of it makes you less than a man, not and the fact that you went through with it. You know, we all have temptations in that area, and we all need to remain. I would say remain holy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, your relationship with God has to be greater than the relationship with your need to cheat. So if less than a man, I feel like you are because you didn't tell the truth to that person, or you didn't leave that person because that's if you want out with different women, you can't possibly want the one you with, and that's from a female point of view.
So did I hear you say somewhere in there that there is a right reason to cheat if you cheat if the right circumstances is there? Did I hear you say that there's a good reason to do so?
She ain't say that.
Okay. I ain't say it was a good reason. I said it depends. I know people. Okay, you have a female that's trying to be divorced, and because the spouse can't be served or cannot find an address for the spouse, or the spouse just disappeared, then they cannot officially get their divorce until all that information, all that went on. I know. So if she decides to find someone and be with somebody, then that's kind of cheating. And that's a morality issue. Does that make him less than a man or she less than a woman? I don't think so.
You see, she's still cheating. She's still cheating because what it says is unless you go through that process, and I think it's called divorce. Until you go through that process, you're still legally married. Y'all could be separated, whatever. You're married to that person. And so if you go out there and be with somebody else, then technically, we could dress it up, but technically you still cheated on that person. You still cheating.
And I'm saying that that's what I'm saying. You are cheating, and I said that, and it's still a morality, and Christian is still committing adultery. But I'm saying, like, does it make them less of a man or less than a woman? I would say no. It's just that you need to go ahead and do your business and get your divorce. But if it's another situation where you got one guy that's been married for 20 years, and out of that 20 years been sleeping around with 20, 30 women or so. So to me, that's less than a man because you constantly lying. And if you don't want to be with this person, or if you want to be a man of the night or the hour or the second or whatever you want to be, then go be that. Don't be with somebody else and hurting their feelings and their love and all that good stuff.
Hey, y'all, Christy said man of the night or the hour.
Exactly. Man, I'm telling you, I heard. I wasn't gonna say I heard that, but Anna, what do you say to that, man? Are you less than a man? Is a man less than a man if he cheats?
Okay, so there's so many sides to this. I'll start by saying I think some men, it's just in their nature, and when I say it's in their nature, it has to do with their upbringing. Oh yeah, my man, you're so handsome. All the girls, look at the girls looking at my baby, stuff like that. Okay, which is totally not allowed in my son's special needs here. Okay, totally not allowed here. I love my son and he's my heart, but But with that being said, you also have men that do it on the down low, and I think those are the bad ones, the ones that don't tell. Like you're exposing your wife to so much, and I'm assuming we're talking about a married couple, or whatever. you're exposing your wife to so much. It's ridiculous. And then the fact that you're like just quiet, like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Or if you get caught, you deny it till you're dead. I don't know where men get this concept from, but it is the worst concept in the world. Tell the truth. Let's see if we can seek Christian marital counseling and see if we can make this work. Now, like Christy said, the ones that do it over and over and over again, you just got problems. You're just a cheater. You're just not worth it.
I'm hearing you say that if somebody cheats one time and come to you and say, well, I made a mistake. I apologize. I found myself in a situation that I shouldn't have been in, and I apologize to you. Can you forgive me? That would be okay. Y'all will wash that one time away. Go to counseling.
We could wash that. I said we could seek Christian marital counseling. Remember, the Bible speaks of adultery. The Bible speaks of what can and cannot be done in a marriage period. Adultery is one of them, and there's other things that people skip but should not be done in a marriage. So therefore, if you're out there and you're ripping and running and doing as you please, and then that's another thing. If you hang around a group of guys that's constantly cheating, you're probably a cheater too. I'm almost 95% sure you're more than likely a cheater as well. And finally, if you, and this is for women as well, and I agree with Christy on this, if you tell somebody that you just meet, well, I'm separated, we're about to get a divorce, we're having marital issues, she does this, she does that. One thing I've noticed, and I actually put up a video this weekend on how to make your marriage work, okay? One thing I've noticed, and they said something that's so true, is that person is going to sell themselves. The cheater or the person that wants to get that person, they're going to talk so good about themselves, right? Why don't you go talk to their family and their homeboys, and they'll tell you who you really dating. You see what I'm saying? And see if that person's right for you. No.
The homeboys, your homeboys ain't gonna, they ain't gonna break the code now. They ain't gonna break the code. They ain't if that's homeboys, he break the code. Like I say, he ain't gonna break.
Leonard might be one of those homeboys.
See, Leonard. He might
be one of those homeboys, but not all homeboys. Christy, you better kill him.
Leonard come from a different cloth. Leonard come from a different cloth. Leonard go there to tell the woman, look at you better watch that joke. Wait a minute, man, what you doing, bro? Wait a minute. So let me
I ain't getting it involved. I know what Leonard's saying.
Let me ask you this question right here. If a man cheats, does that make him less than a man?
No, it just make him a cheating man. I don't, to me, those types of things is personal because, like I said, I used to tell people, I ain't in your relationship. I really don't care. I mean, that's between you and your spouse. I know some people, they cheat regularly. It's an issue, but they get over it. So usually it's none of my personal business about what somebody else does.
Now let me ask you this question: if you go to this young lady and you've been knowing her longer than you've been knowing him, and all y'all become friends together,
why would I do that?
Let me ask you a question. And she come to you and she say, Leonard, I think you know what's going on. I think he's cheating on me. Is he cheating on me? What do you say? First, what do your loyalties lie? Because you was friends with her first, and that's almost like a sister to you. And she coming to you asking you about this guy, and all y'all are cool. She said, "Is he? I think he's cheating on me. Is he cheating on me?" Leonard, what do you do?
Go ask her. I mean, have you asked her?
And her answer is yes. Yes, I have.
Well, what did he say?
I think he's lying to me.
Okay, if that didn't leave him alone, then.
So you're gonna tell him just end the relationship on something that she.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Leonard.
I don't care. I mean, I don't have a. What do I win? What I get?
It's a cutthroat.
No, my thing. No,
you're gonna have all these divorced couples.
he must
become a counselor.
No.
I'm just saying. I mean, if I'm just asking, why would someone come and ask you if someone else is cheating.
That's your friend. That's your friend. And women, they say women all the time. They say, we got these women into what you call it.
Oh no! I would tell her, you got a pocket. You need to go ask him.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple as that. That ain't none of my business.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I know he's cheating, you go talk to him. You his woman, not mine.
There you go. That's why I wanted you to go. That's what I was telling y'all ladies right there. That's why I was telling you. A man ain't gonna break the code. He's not gonna break the code. He's not gonna go there.
No man will do it. Trust him, but
no. But listen, you heard what Linda just said, and like I say, Linda's the one he gonna tell it. Most of the time he gonna tell it. But
I don't believe. I don't believe you.
There is a code between men who run the streets together.
Yeah. We ain't gonna.
Okay,
ain't got nothing to do with that. And see, it's not that they lie to you. Most of the time, and most of the time, what they'll say to you is, "Look, I ain't got nothing to do with that." And if you can't read between, ain't got nothing to do with that. Ain't hey, you need to talk to them. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Ain't got nothing to do with that. And that's most of the time. Am I lying? That's most of the time when a man gonna say, "Ain't got nothing to do with that." No, ain't got nothing. You want to talk about something else? We'll talk about that, but ain't got nothing to do with that. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Leonard, am I off base?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. It's not about a matter of code. Mm-hmm. Even if a male friend was to come ask me about something like that, I would send you to the person that you laying down with. Mm-hmm. That's y'all business. Mm-hmm. Now, if somebody else knows it, that's pretty messy. That's pretty messy of that person.
Yeah.
Yes.
People need to take care of their own relationship business.
Mm-hmm. Let me go to my phone lines. We got Mr. Flipper.
I would say the same thing.
Mr. Flipper, what do you say to that, man? If a man cheats, is he less than a man if he cheats?
Oh no. I mean, I feel like he is because he committed to that one person.
Mm-hmm. Or should be, right?
Yeah, the way it should be, but it's not really like that anymore. It is a certain situation. But I feel like as a man, you should be committed to one woman. If you don't, you might as well just, don't be with her.
Mm-hmm. Stop wasting her time.
Pretty much.
Yep, stop wasting her time. Good deal. Elgin, what do you say to that, man? Is a man less than a man if he cheats?
Wow. I would definitely say.
Elgin, talking to your phone for me, brother. You're a little bit low. Talking to your phone for me.
I'm sorry. I would. Is that better?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I would definitely say maybe less than a man. That's a tough call. Go define what is a man and some more stuff. But definitely, I think it makes him human though. Because at the end of the day, he made a mistake. Mm-hmm. And we would classify as one mistake as adultery. But there are a lot of mistakes that people make in and out of a relationship every day. It doesn't make them less than a one man or less than a man because of what they did. In some cases, it might make them less than human, when we have no regard for moral rights. It's a tough call. I kind of man, makes me a cheating man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But see, my thing is this right here. A man is gonna own his own. Supposed to own his own. He's supposed to own it. And if he does something that's not right, why can't he go and say, look, unless he just, some people just love to cheat. That's just, that's just their makeup. Some people just love being out there and chasing conquer. That's whether they with somebody or not. That's their idea. That's how they want to do this thing. That's how they were reared, if you will. And so, I don't think he's no fixing that person right there. But if somebody is in a committed relationship and because of the fact they're in a committed relationship and they go out there and they cheat and they come back and like you said, they fess up to it. Should they be forgiven? Or what is the limitation of you forgiving an individual animal that cheated on you? What's the limitation of you forgiving them?
Okay. Are you asking me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. So what was the question again?
What are the boundaries? What are your boundaries? If somebody cheat on you, what are the boundaries of your limitation? How far I will forgive them?
See, growing up in a household where you've seen that your whole entire life, I don't think it's as easy when you've experience seeing the hurt, the pain, what it causes to a family, even if the family is still together. You know, and the other person, whether it be the man or the woman, have stuck by that other person's side through sickness, health, till death do us part, and still married almost 50 years. I mean, that takes a lot, you know, but at the same time, somebody maybe like me would not. It's a no-go. I don't, you know, if you come to me before I start seeing signs and symptoms, like, because you could see all kinds of signs, their body language. Sometimes if a person's too nice to you, that your spouse either being way too nice or way mean, that's a sign. They're not themselves. You see that they kind of distance themselves from you, stuff like that. Don't want to be around you, stuff like that. Those are signs and symptoms. I say signs and symptoms because it's the truth. They something's up. And if you ask them what's going on, as your wife, I'm coming to you, what is going on? What is there something that I've done? Is there another person? And you tell me no blatantly to my face. And then once I catch you red-handed, you come to me with the whole, oh, no, I didn't, you know, I want us to seek counseling. And what do you want us to seek counseling for? Because you got caught and now you know you're going to lose everything. I mean, everything that you've invested within this relationship, right? Because you just have to start all over at that point. But start all over with the person you cheated on me with, because they were worth it. This is just my opinion. They were so worth it that you couldn't even come to your wife with the truth. And then don't let somebody else come and tell me, because, you know, I've had those situations with friends that I've been that friend like you guys. And I'm like, I don't know. You know, because if you tell, I'm telling you, and they get back together, you are the bad one. Don't involve yourself. That's messy. Okay. Don't involve yourself. But if you are that friend that does turn around and tell, you know, trust and believe, they're going to both gang up on you. They're going to be mad at you. You're not going to be like the good person forever. And then they're still together. So then what? I know a situation, and I'm going to tell this story very briefly. Family member, and I'm not going to say their name. It can be on either side. I'm not going to, you know, expose it. But this person, let's say, stole his best friend's wife of over 20 years, over 20. I get a knock on my door stating, you know, I see a man crying. I normally don't open the door for men. You know, this happened, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, how? You guys used to all be together. Like, I would think that you guys were like family. She left everything for 2 years. Do you guys know where that girl is at right now?
Where's she at?
Right back with her husband. All that drama for nothing. And guess what? You ruined your friendship with your best friend. You guys know where I'm going with it, because I was going to say something that's not very Christian-like. And it was not worth it. It was not worth it. So at the end of the day, think about your actions, because you could be ruining something for life that at the end of the day wasn't worth it.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, she kept going back and forth between the husband and the boyfriend. So
that's
she's a cheater. They're all cheaters, if you ask me.
Let me go to Chris. Christy, unmute your line for me, because that's crazy to me. There's no if you step out and you want to be with whoever it is, then that's what you be. But no, you ain't coming back over here. You ain't coming back over here. Christy, what's on your heart?
You know, I'm gonna say this: each his own, and that's like a personal situation. Because I've known women who men cheat after cheating, they accept, just like Anna say, they always go back, and you see that in abusive women as well. You go through all the things you do to help a woman that's been battered or that's been under the thumb of a controlling man, and you try to go help them. The next thing he done weasel his way back in, and then they're going back to where they come from. So each his own. Like, when I forgive a cheating person, it, you know, I can honestly say in my life, in my relationships, I have, and it is in some points where I haven't. The difference between the two, I won't say it's different reasons for each one. You know, one I was like, okay, you know, I'm more in the Christian faith. I think I gotta make this work, you know, gotta pray about it, gotta do things. And so that one kind of went a little longer than I would have if I wasn't saved. And my unsaved, I just walked away and was like, I can't tell you all I did because I'm pleading the fifth. I want to self-incriminate myself. But at the so it's just I'm gonna plead the fifth on that. But you know, it's not fun being cheated on. You know, if you don't want to, and that's a man or a woman, and it's not feeling good. So that's why I say if you can't be honest about what you're doing to the person that you are supposed to be with, then that's not love and care. Because I'm like, Anna, there's too many diseases out here, too many STDs, too many things people can pick up. And to them down low brothers that be with wives and down low sleeping with men, y'all just need to be real with who you are. That's why, you know, women are so prone to so many diseases, and they get it from their cheating spouses. So that being said, that part makes you, I won't say less than a man, but it makes you a not so nice one.
But see, I don't think in a situation like that, I don't think a man is concerned about, you know, whether you look at him as being nice, whatever. I think he's just being like I think Leonard said, he's just being very selfish, and in his selfishness, that's some of the things that he do. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? You ready to go to the phone? Just 1 second.
It's funny. I think, you know, it's because, you know, people have different things. And I guess when you know people who have been in relationships, I mean, man, they're people with other babies and everything. So, I mean, it's quite evident sometimes, you know, there's a lot of blended and mixed families these days. You know, it's, and I mean, a lot of folks will tell you, especially when they've been married 30 and 40 years and things like that, where the woman tells you the story as if, you know, it was terrible, but somehow they made it work. You know, and I'm so used to blended families now that unless you like people used to talk about cheating and stuff, I was like, well, don't you have to be married to cheat? Because I never recognized any type of cheating or thing like that outside of marriage or whatever. You know, I was married before very young. And, you know, it wasn't, you know, just the notion was enough for me to get a divorce.
Oh, being married?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
I mean, if you get to the point where you're just not enjoying one another no more, I don't think, you know, some people say, well, I think he changed. If you want to leave somebody, just leave them. You know, I mean, if you don't need a reason, even just leave them if that's what you want to do. I mean,
that door swing both ways, coming and going.
Yeah, and you know, my mother used to say, never say never, because you never know. You could just love a person enough that you look past a lot of their faults. So, I mean,
would cheating be one of the things that be on that list of faults that you will look past?
I know. I have a friend who divorced her husband for writing a bad check.
Moving on. We got a phone line. We got hold on. We got a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I can divorce for that reason. Okay.
Caller, what's your name?
I'm calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Good morning, Frank. How you doing, sir?
Man, I am fantastic. How is everybody?
Hey, doing well, doing well. Frank, is a man less than a man if he cheats?
Well, you know, the struggle that I have a lot of times in conversations, Raheem, it's different people's definition. You know, how do you define, you know, a man? How do you define marriage? How do you you know, your definition is going to dictate what something is, or your understanding of something. You know, there's a lot of people out there with the old mentality that that's just what men are going to do. Well, that's not the definition that my mother raised me on. That's not, she made it clear what a man and what his responsibilities were. Now that didn't stop me or any of my friends from doing anything, but at least when we did it, we weren't up under any type of false pretense that it was justifiable or we were living up to our expectations as men. Men, males, grown, big, little, because it's tough for him, you know, because a lot of times we put these expectations on people that are just immature, you know, that just don't have what's in them to do what's right. That doesn't mean that they can't get there. You know, a lot of times we take a snapshot.
Are we when we say stuff like that, Frank? Are we giving them excuse or a way out? Is that pretty much what we're doing?
When we say what?
What you just said is that they don't know no better, they don't, or whatever. Then the last part of what you just said.
Well, I mean, let's be real. We're all ignorant. Nobody knows everything. So there's some things that, you know, we may get to, but we may, you know, I may get there later in life than you. You know, somebody else may get there later in life than me. No, I'm not giving it as an excuse. It's just some things are just real. You know, there's some women that I ran into that I'm not going to say would not be a good wife, but at the time that I encountered them, in my evaluation, it just didn't seem like either we were meant for each other or they were ready for marriage. Now, I'm not condemning them to a life of that, because the life may go on. You know, there's some people that aren't ready to settle down, and you have to evaluate that thing and say, hey, they're just not ready, or they just don't know, or they just haven't lost enough to want to do what's right.
Let me explain to everybody, you know, some things that's going on here, because I don't want them to think that that we're laughing at anything anyone is saying. We got a chat going on the side, and there's a chat bar on the side. If you was actually on the live with us, you can see the chat room that we share amongst each other. And Anna and Leonard, they ain't right, y'all. They ain't right, y'all. But let me continue. Elgin, what's on your heart right now?
I mean, I'm just listening to the comments. I've been in a situation where my spouse cheated on me, and I forgave them because, for me, well, a few factors for me, you know, and it's just me. It's been said several times. It's based upon each individual's perspective, but from my perspective, for my situation, my first thing was, well, had roles been reversed, you could have been in a very compromising situation yourself. It was cool because, well, no, she really didn't tell me. God told me about it, and I confronted her about what God said to me. She paused, and I said, okay, so what's going on? But I would say this, you know, if you are going to forgive somebody, then you should definitely establish boundaries. Like, and this is what I did with my ex-wife. Hey, you know, you can't come up in here past 12 midnight no more. I don't care if you were talking to my spiritual father or the Pope. I don't care. That's not going to happen anymore. I need that for me to be emotionally secure right now while I heal. I'm going to need that from you. And it wasn't but 2.5 months later she came stumbling in the house, drunk and I think high. At like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I had expressed to my boundaries. If this happens again like this, and this you cross the boundary, we're done. There's no more talking. It just, for me, it was a behavior that I deemed was going to be repetitive. And so that's just what I walked away from it. I was not willing to deal with that. People say what they want to about divorce, but it's still my life. I had to deal with that. I had to determine whether or not my emotional stability was going to be worth anything for me or the kingdom of God if I continue to endure in that situation. And that just goes back to me denying myself for the sake of the kingdom. I love the person, really love the person, but I had to deny myself. In this case, I realized it was a detriment to my health and also to the mission that God has for me for the kingdom of God.
Good deal, good deal. Let me read something. Andrew Dove on Facebook wrote this right here. He said, "My wife forgave me twice for cheating on her. The power of forgiveness is real and always offer restoration. I haven't been outside of our realm of my marriage for over 20 years. I can't be that selfish to ever bring that kind of hurt and pain to her again. Now our marriage is absolutely amazing." Andrew Dove, I definitely appreciate you all putting that out there like that. Thank you very much. Yeah, Anna, what's up?
That is my pastor. Hi, pastor. And they do have a beautiful, beautiful marriage now. And that's pretty awesome that you wrote that, because their story is pretty amazing. If you guys ever get the opportunity and he talks about it, I will forward it to our private group so that you guys are able to see the story or to hear the story. Hint, talk about it soon, because it's amazing. They're stronger than I would ever be. I have to say that. Good and deal. Nice to hear from you, Pastor.
Good deal. Christy, let me ask you this question. A lot of times, unmute for me, Christy. A lot of times what happens is when someone cheats and the word gets out there that they're cheating, there's so many different elements that's tied into that. You got your family and your friends that's going to try to steer you and lead you a certain way. Oh, he ain't no good. I told you he wasn't no good. Leave that joker. He blah, 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 blah. And they're in your ear. They're in your ear saying all these things in your ear. But you have to make the decision whether you want to stay with this person or not. You have to make the decision whether you want to try to save your marriage or not. How much of an influence would you allow outside forces to be in your decision?
If you ever decide to take your cheating spouse back, then you're just going to have to cut off from people for a little while to make it work. Because people are going to voice their opinions, and they don't mean that you have to take their advice or like their advice or, any of that. You just have to concentrate on your household first. Because if you let these outside influences, I can only speak from experience. My mom and my sister's not going to cut no slack on anybody that has treated me in such a manner. And you can't expect your family and friends or people that really love you to sit by and say, oh, it's okay for him to mistreat you, or it's okay for him to do all the things that you're doing, and you constantly with that cycle. A good friend is going to have to step away, because I can't watch you destroy yourself. I can't watch you, do those things to yourself. And every time you go out, you go right back in, and it's the same thing. So that's why for me, all that cheating and lying, I like, just tell me the truth up front. If you're gonna lie about it and it's gonna come to the light eventually, I don't care. You can lie for 10 years, 5 years. It's gonna break somehow. And I just want to tell Anna, Pastor, your wife is really strong and beautiful to accept you back twice. God has saw a blessing upon y'all, because not too many of us is going to take you back the first time, and then you do it a second time. I mean, that's just awesome.
Leonard, all the outside entities that try to come in, your best friend, I will give you the same scenario. Her husband cheated on her. And then you see all the other people coming to her, telling her, leave that joke, blah, 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 trying to influence her decision whether to stay in her marriage or not. What do you go to her and say anything to her, make your own decision? Or how do you handle a situation like that? Because all the outside forces can destroy that marriage if the people listen to them. What do you say to that?
I usually recommend counseling for people. For people who, if you love one another, you should work it out. I mean, you just should. If you really love one another, just work it out, because love is what's going to keep you together anyway. A lot of people that really love each other ain't going nowhere, because it makes no sense. If there's no love there, then you separate. I mean, you just don't stay with somebody just to stay with them if you don't want to be with them.
Exactly.
You know, you may need some time to get yourself together. It may be sometimes it may be a personal counseling thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you may need to go to group counseling. Everybody's situation is different. Like I said, I know, in this day and age, you have a lot of people with outside children. So they have to deal with things was there's other things you have to take into consideration. A lot of families that are together made the families it's a little different, it seems, because you have a thing where first men took a lot of the punishment and a lot of the blame, and then it found out that women are doing it just as well. So then it's not a big difference between men and women doing it. So it must be about the relationship between the man and the woman. So somebody needs to do something to repair their relationship, but I don't advise people who really love one another to leave one another. But if it's just something where if you want to leave, leave. If you want to work it out, work it out. You're not going to make me feel better staying or leaving. So if you're doing it for somebody else, that's the worst reason in the world. But if sometimes kids are involved in things like that. And sometimes, it's to each his own. Each relationship is different. I know a lot of guys who have a lot of things going on. My age group, 2 and 3 baby mamas is not unusual. A lot of men are getting smart enough to know, there's certain women you just leave alone.
Yeah.
There are certain, women that are just as likely and promiscuous as men are. So it's just the relationship that two people are in.
Yeah.
You don't make a fool out of yourself saying what you won't do. Because you may like Pastor L was saying, and I commented, he's a good person. So he was working with that, set up boundaries, and do those things that you get out of counseling and dealing with stuff rationally if you're trying to make it work. But the tit for tat and the back and forth and I'm gonna keep you to torture you and all that, that's crazy, man. Nobody, it should be worked out for the best arrangement. And then I know some women that would be like, you know what, don't do it no more.
And leave it right there.
And leave it right there and keep going. They get that they've been with the person long enough. They know the type of person that they have. Situations. So I, grew up around situations where men were married, took care of their households, and had other households. So it's not, I'm not as in, I would be upset, but I would dispatch of it quickly.
Yeah.
So people who want to work together should work together.
Okay, good deal. Let me keep this going. Mr. Flipper, what do you say to that, man? What's on your heart right now? Mr. Flipper, you there? Unmute your phone, sir. Unmute your phone. We'll come back to Mr. Flipper. Frank, what's on your heart? Frank, you there? What's going on my phone line here? My folks can't hear me? Okay. Anna, what's on your heart right now? We'll come back to the phone line. We may have some difficulties with it.
Adultery is not the only way of cheating in a relationship, though. It's really not. You can cheat your partner in more ways than that. I know people who their spouse, whether it be a man, normally it's a man or a woman, that are addicted to video games. You're cheating your spouse. You really are, whether you guys believe this or not. Sometimes we can overwork and cheat our spouse of attention and time. There's more ways than one of cheating. So yes, adultery is one, and it's written in the Bible, but the Bible also talks about the husband that comes home drunk, leaves every, not leaves every weekend, but, comes home drunk, or, the spouse or whatever, and reasons why you can separate from a person, not necessarily leave them, but separate it, give it time, pray about it, because I think that even if we do get divorced, and I believe somewhere in the Bible it does say it, unless we're widows, we're really committing adultery as well. So it's just something to think about. All of us, I think it's pretty awesome that there's some people out there that can actually leave over a bad check. I can't do that. I can't just leave because, okay, you wrote a bad check, even though I financially told you to take care of finances and you just wrote a bad check. I mean, I can't do things like that. That's pretty amazing that she stuck to her guns. But, you know, I just don't see it being fair. But you can, in my opinion, you can cheat your spouse in more ways than one. Adultery probably being the worst. But you can do that. And even then, I always recommend Christian marital counseling.
Okay. Elgin, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good deal. I thought, man, something was going on with my phone line there for a second. But what do you say to that? And Anna brought something different to the equation. Said that you can actually cheat your spouse in more ways than one. What do you say to that?
Oh, I mean, most definitely. I was listening to Annie saying, just even still using scripture, you know, to even think about it in your head is as if you already done it anyway. So, and there's no physical, you know, intimacy or physical altercation, whatever you want to call it, that has happened, that you've done it in your head. That's still adultery. You know, but I think what Anna also brought up in a roundabout way, and maybe she's being direct about it, you know, once again, we sin in many different ways all the time, you know, and so we beat the mess out of adultery, but we don't talk about the gospels. You know, just there's a lot of different ways we can look at this thing. I just think that everybody should do a second chance, man. I do believe that. I do believe that if they want to work on it, then they should work on it. But both people have to work on it. As I say all the time, everybody wants to fall in love. But very few people want to do the work that it takes to stay in love. And that's a big difference.
Christy, what's on your heart? Christy?
I'm here. So I agree with Anna. I agree with Anna. There's more than one ways to cheat. I mean, and it's things that lead up to that exact moment of cheating. So, you know, you can cheat or have an emotional attachment to someone. And because you're so emotionally attached to them, that's a form of cheating, you know. So I do understand that. So, you know, even kissing someone is cheating. You know, you already know your lunch date. You know, these people that's in corporate America, they go on lunch with these other females, or you know, they go to these lunch dates, or you have your work husbands and all that good stuff. And so that leads to a relationship, which can lead to cheating. So I agree with Anna. There are other ways to cheat than actual just doing the act of cheating. So
Girl,
there's a way.
I say, girl, thank you, because Leonard is tripping. Look at him back there laughing.
Because they see, men don't want us to know that, because they, you know, it's in their best interest to say, well, I ain't touch her, you know, but it's all the things that you've done or that leads up to the cheating.
Frank, are you still with us? Frank, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What's on your heart? What's on your heart, brother?
I agree with what both of the young ladies just said, and Leonard. And the thing about it is that when you begin to do things that are inappropriate, you begin to rob your spouse of things that are only supposed to be for them. You know, one of the things that are hurtful, you see some people, and it can be male or female, and they're just as kind and friendly and laughing and kikiing with an employee at work. Then they walk into the door with their spouse, and you know they're sharp and bitter, no patience. They don't have any compassion. They're not showing the emotions that a lot of times people are more forgiving to an employer, or more patient with an employer than they are with their own husband or wife. And that's basically robbing that marriage. That's cheating. You're not giving that spouse what they need to exist. You know, I need everything from my wife. I need her jokes. I need her humor. I need her bumping into me. I need her thoughts. I need all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I married her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't want her giving any of that to somebody else and then depriving me of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to hear about, you know, what's going on in her mind. I don't want her to think that, okay, well, I have this in common with one of my coworkers. You know, now, if it's just her and a group of women that they have a project or they're talking about things that just women talk about or whatever, but if there's a man there that has a connection with my wife and she feels she only can share that with him, she's cheating on me. You know, now on the same, I was just telling a young man, glory to God, I was just telling a young man at work this the other day. He was talking about how he gives his wife the cold shoulder. I said, be careful. Because she will find someone to emotionally attach herself to. So where you think you're punishing her, you're just opening a door or a window for the enemy. So, yeah.
So we're talking to a great part. We're not talking about physically cheating. We're talking about emotionally cheating and what's what I'm looking for? Like it's not a physical connection, but it's a different kind of connection that she could have with that person. You view that as cheating as well.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and the thing is, we know, you know, when you had that little cute coworker and y'all make eye contact and y'all, hey, you know, the hug is not a hug, it's a grope.
Mm-hmm.
She walked by you and she bumped your chair. That's way too much. That's too much.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have no business doing all that with someone. I'm married. You know, so no, we can laugh about things that are superficial and we can joke. But when it gets to that level where now we've taken it to a whole nother level where I'm anticipating your arrival. That's a problem.
And what do you say to that? Is there like mental cheating?
Well, look at the people that I'm assuming I can say this on air. Look at the people that watch pornography. They're mentally cheating. They're lusting. But what he's saying with the workplace, I actually had a coworker, and it was crazy because they had seen me somewhere and they tried to hand me over their number. And they were like, you know, I'm thinking, you guys know my personality. I'm pretty, oh, okay, you know. But what he said after I gave him the number right back, he said, I noticed that there was, what to say how he said it, that there was hot tension between us at work. And I'm like, hot tension? No tension. None. I don't know. You had tension, but not me. So whatever that was about.
You not paying attention.
I was not even worried about what you were. So, anyways, with that being said, that I think it's just something. I think it's your mind and its demons that people fight, because if your mind isn't even there, you're just thinking, okay, you know, okay, let's say I have to go do something at work with Leonard, and we're working by each other. There should be no tension. We should be very professional. That's what it's about. I think you let demons overtake you in that situation and overtake. And I don't know if I'm wording that right or saying that right. It's that lust in you that, oh, let me picture this. How about this person doing this, doing that? I've been one of these type of people, and I've been doing this for many, many years. And maybe I'm crazy to some people. Even if I see a scene with a sexual act on a movie, I just turn my face. I don't watch it, because at the end of the day, that leads to other things. And those thoughts are slowly going to come in. It might not be right away, but it'll slowly come in. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but I think it's just you trying to keep, and if it's something that's a temptation for you, pray about it, fast about it, and get your mind off of that.
Yeah, trying to keep your mind clear of all that other stuff. You're trying to keep your mind clear of all that, and so you don't partake in those type of activities because you don't want to deal with where it might take you to. Leonard, what's on your heart?
Absolutely.
Leonard?
Oh, I'm listening to the stories and things like that. You know, it's amazing. I guess I've gotten to the point where, I mean, I've supervised women in corporate America for quite a while. You know, I have a relationship with women that a lot of men don't enjoy, I guess, because of that sexual tension, I guess, that that Anna was talking about.
That was the word. Sexual tension.
But you know, there should be there. You know, it wasn't much of a big deal to me because, of course, boundaries. I said boundaries. So, you know, I think everything can be done appropriately if people wanted to. But you know, sometimes you got to pump people's brakes. You know, it ain't that type of party. You know, usually if you let somebody, I ain't into that, they go away.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm sure it's different between men and women.
Mm-hmm.
I know from experience, women are very aggressive in the workplace.
Yes, sir.
And so, you know, it's not a big issue once you set the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
But if you a weak man, yeah, it's gonna be easy to get caught up because not being being the man that I am, I anticipate everything. So one, I'm already thinking about it before it happens, on how to deal with stuff. You know, so once women are around me enough, they know it's not that type of party. So I don't usually get into it, but I'm not so sure I disagree or agree about the sexual tension part. But you have to deal with it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's dealt with in the open, you don't worry about it, you know, causing a problem. There's a lot of women that I would tell them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, don't take it personal or anything,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but it's just not what I do. We can have if we can't have this type of fun, then we just can't.
Mm-hmm.
That can't get too far. You have to put the brakes on that, you know, because that leads to a lot of inappropriate behavior. And sometimes it go too far, and if it's misunderstood, it can lead to other issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially when you have, I mean, some women come to destroy men's lives this way. So once you get used to that, you know, they own the same thing with me with dealing with enemies to what I've built, enemies to what I've tried to do with my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need that type of thing in there.
Good deal.
Because it's a problem.
Exactly. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Tucson.
Donald Tucson. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Man, that's all right. It look pretty good. Good morning, everyone.
Man, Donald said you're gonna take the whole week off and call in every day this week. Donald said I'm taking the whole week off. He said, Lord, Jesus, you're gonna make me take a vacation. But Donna, is a man less than a man if he cheats?
It depends if you ask the man. Ask the man, because when some of them is just players.
Someone what now?
So
Players, okay. Mm-hmm.
Players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I don't know. You ask him, but let me say this: if you are married or in a relationship, and I don't know if I can call him less than a marriage. He just ain't got his stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, his mind hadn't got there yet. I'm just saying. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
But if
that be the case, Donald, let me ask you this. If that be the case, if he know his mind ain't right or his mind ain't together, why waste this young lady's time?
Because he wasting his time too.
I
mean, that's the game.
Mm-hmm.
Wasting time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a waste of time. I mean, if it's two people, just wasting each other's time because you're never gonna get nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Wasting time. That's why now, learn from error. I'm just saying, you always got something that you every once in a while you bring me to the confession booth like you so preaching.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Look here, man. Look here. That's why now I listen, and you gotta watch because sometimes women can get you in the mind that you don't intend to be in. They just try.
How much control do you have over that, Don? How much control do you have over that, though? You have. Okay, there you go. Mm-hmm.
All of it, because like Liz said, you gotta know when to cut it off, when to start.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's move right on.
Hey,
that certain phase come up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on. Because they want to see where you are.
Mm-hmm.
One woman at church, she said she be hugging over me. She said, I ain't gonna do that. I just want to see what type of man he is. I said, oh, you got a Jezebel spirit.
You ain't calling no Jezebel, did you?
Yes, I did. She told Papa.
Lord. Okay, Don. Look, I'm going to move on, Don, because you ready to go somewhere, brother. You ready to go somewhere? Hold on.
Yeah. Gotta move on.
Yeah, let me move on. You gotta know when to cut it off, Don. I gotta know when to cut it off, because you're about to go somewhere. Frank, what's on your heart right now? Elgin, coming to you next. Frank, you there? Wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. El, you there?
I'm here.
What's on your heart, brother?
I'm just listening to the dialogue. It's really good to have this kind of dialogue. One of the things that we were talking about a moment ago was, cheating other than physical, having sex, and it's definitely a real factor. The times have changed a lot too. You just can't be so open to think, well, if I have a husband, he's cheating with a woman possibly, but nowadays he could be cheating with a man, and vice versa. The wife could be cheating with a woman. So then it brings up another factor in my thought process. Like, okay, maybe not in cheating, thinking about leaving your relationship with somebody else, but there's a way. Like Frank said, I love him. He said something so it was very poetic to me. He said, I need her to bump into me that way. I need her to make this joke or everything about her. I need of her. And so when we're really looking at cheating on that level, and I've felt this before, and I know a lot of men have, and women have, vice versa. When their spouse spends more time with their friend than they do with their spouse. In a sense, you're kind of cheating on them. You're taking that time that's valuable to that relationship and you're giving it to somebody else. I think that's a very dangerous episode too, and I hope not
Elgin, let me ask
too much. But
okay, let me ask you this question. Hold on, El, let me ask you this question. What if the individual that she's spending this extra time with, is the pastor in the church? There's nothing going on, but she's spending all the extra time at the church and with the pastor in the church. Is that an issue?
She's married?
Yes.
No, for the pastor at home. She needs to reevaluate her relationship and the amount of importance she puts on her husband. Is her first ministry, and then she is her husband's first ministry.
Mm-hmm.
That thing at the church, man, she needs to go on home and handle business there. And I would say the same thing to any man. I'm not saying from a sexist standpoint. I'm just saying, period.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go service that marriage, that relationship. And then you gotta discuss how that kind of time is going to be used in the future. How much time are we going to spend hanging out with the boys or with the pastor? Doing this, that, and third. Even more still, I'm just not too always on me. Now, this is Elgin. Well, my wife at the church all the time, the pastor. And it's a male pastor. I'm talking about hey, can you kind of chill out a little bit? I know you love the Lord, you're doing the Lord a great service. Maybe some other things. Maybe I need to go up there with you. If it's my schedule, you go ahead and I'll find something else to do on church grounds while you doing admin stuff, whatever you're doing. And I just think that's a very dangerous thing to be in. And unfortunately, a lot of pastors are worshipped as such by women congregates in their church, and it's very saddening.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Frank, you back with us? Mr. Flipper, you there? Mr. Flipper, are you there? Okay. Let me go to Leonard. What do you say to that, man? Can the pastor unintentionally break up a marriage because the wife is spending too much time in the church? Now, there's nothing going on. There's no physical thing going on. It's just that she spends so much time in the church, trying to build the church, trying to do different things for the church, and she neglects her own household and or husband. Can that be an issue in it?
I'm sure it is for people who, you know, have that problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not into it that way. Nor do I really know people that way. I remember commitment to church is commitment to church.
Mm-hmm.
But it is commitment within reason.
Yes.
But I used to always hear about people, especially women,
mm-hmm.
doing too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And getting carried away. But then again, I've advised a friend of mine who is very much into the church. However, he's not married. And, you know, he is really interested in having a spouse. And one of the comments he made to me was that she would have to understand my commitment to the church. And so I told him it would be best that you not marry.
Yeah.
If you feel that you have a bigger commitment to the church than you would a spouse, you should never marry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and if you love your church that much, then that's what you should marry, your church.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. But don't think that someone has to and use God as an excuse
in
your relationship.
Now, Leonard, when you marry the church, where you put the ring?
I mean, it should be in your heart. You know, I mean,
come on, Leonard. Come on,
you know, if my partner is it's real, because it makes no sense to argue about something like that. It's inappropriate, but a lot of people use God to justify what they want.
Yeah.
So, you know, and some people would say, well, it's my commitment to God or whatever. Was your commitment to God that strong when you were laying with that person?
You better say it. You better tell the truth.
So don't bait a person in with the whole image you so dedicated to the church.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're that dedicated to the church, you should not marry.
That's right. Come on.
Because spouses are a responsibility, and it takes time, and we have been advised against this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you love the Lord that much, do not marry.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't balance, or you believe that spouse should take a second seat to your commitment at church, don't marry.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Anna, what's on your heart?
Raheem, I was just going to let you know that I'm back in case you called him.
Man, I done called you about 6 times, man.
That's not covering your brother in love, but go ahead, man.
I'm gonna come back to you, man. Appreciate you. Anna, what's on your heart?
And so I want to say something to the listening audience, because I think in the station we have 2 or 3 women that come in and out, and sometimes you'll have special guests. Normally you have Raheem he's always there, and Leonard is there a lot of times, a lot. Mm-hmm. One thing I will say, and from what I've seen from the men that call in, you know, to the show every day, and I appreciate this in you guys, and I know I've said it before, but you guys are in no shape, form, or manner disrespectful at all. I've never seen one of these men look at me inappropriately. I mean, unless I'm just missed it. I've never seen one of these men even get so close to me that it's kind of uncomfortable. Never. And I am a woman of, you know, I'm a person of the opposite sex, and I appreciate that, because this is a Christian station, and there should be that brotherly, sisterly respect between one another. Most of the time when we're even having a conversation, one is on one side, one is on the other side, and one is on one corner. And that's the truth. And we're usually very, very, very respectful towards each other, towards each other's spouses, so forth, so on. And I just want to thank you guys and the callers that do call in. Some I haven't met personally, some I have, for all being so respectful, at least to me. I thank you guys, because it's very uncomfortable to be around a man, especially a Christian man, and they're looking at you or acting a certain way around you. It's very uncomfortable, but you should feel like that's my brother in Christ. And I just wanted to say that to the listening audience. So if you ever do business with DKM Media Group and Associates, I can reassure you that I mean, at least what I've seen, you guys, I would just be so shocked. I'd be like, no, I wouldn't tell you guys anything to your face, but behind your back, I'd be like, no, what were you thinking? So anyhow, but I'm just joking, and they know I like to joke. But with in all seriousness, very, very respectful. And I thank you guys. I really do. As your sister in Christ, I thank you guys, because you guys make that work atmosphere easier, even from home or wherever. And thank you. And you guys are amazing. You guys really are. And you guys know I try to tell you guys all the time. It make me laugh a lot. So
they're trying not to smile, or they trying not to smile.
He wants to talk about me.
No, I'm gonna tell you something funny happened this weekend. Me and my wife were sitting, and from time to time, I don't do the reality TV show stuff a lot. So every now and then I sit, she watches it, and I watched it with her yesterday. And I appreciate beautiful women, I should say that. But I was a bit offended. I watched, I believe it was the Housewives show, the Real Atlanta Housewives. And it looked like everybody was selling breasts.
Yep.
And I guess it's because I really don't watch a lot of that television like that. But it was so upfront.
Yeah.
It was obvious. And I can't imagine a woman being in the workplace like that. Because I will send you home. I will tell you to go take care of that. That's too much. It's just too. And then it was like, oh my goodness. Do you want this image to be what people think of you?
Yeah.
But see, because once I see a woman like that, I know what she's about. I know the game. So, like, even in a church, I'm sure they do that a lot more up front in church. An older woman or something would take a younger woman to the side.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, you don't need to do all that. Not here. Like, I'm just that up front that if Anna came in a certain way, sister, you need to take care of that.
And you know what? I sincerely would appreciate that, because sometimes we don't even notice that we do things. One time, and if you don't mind, Raheem, I'm going to be very transparent. Okay. One time, I'm looking through my closet, just had one of those really stumbling, as people know I have epilepsy. So I think I just had one of those real awkward waking up in the morning, and I couldn't find like the right shirt for the show. So I put on a tank top. And usually I'll comment, or Raheem will, send a text or will call or whatever after the show. How was the show? Whatever. So Raheem said, one thing, sis, try not to put on a tank top. I know if he meant nothing by it, and I explained myself. I said, I just couldn't find anything, So, but thinking about it, he is absolutely right, because the wrong concept might be taken. I took no offense. I mean, I took no offense. And I would expect you guys, as my brothers in Christ and my co-workers, because I see you guys as family, to be that honest with me, because sometimes we don't do it on purpose. It was just one of those mornings, seriously, that my mind was not right. Now, when it comes to dressing, y'all, I like to dress. So, I like, when I go out, I like to dress nice. I like to look nice. But I try to be as appropriate as possible. As you guys know, even when I go into the studio, I try overall. And I'm not going to dress with some long sleeve shirt in this 87-degree weather. I'm not going to do that in the middle of summer. But I do dress according to the weather. And I just, you're absolutely right, Leonard. And I would appreciate you, you can finish saying what you were saying, you doing that with me. It would mean the world to me, because it means you care about me as your sister in Christ and as your friend. And that means a lot.
Absolutely. Let me see. Hold on. There you go.
And it's also because I have a sister, and I wouldn't let my sister do. I mean, because when my sister dresses up, she really dresses up, and she goes to balls and things like that. So it's usually very classy and things like that. But I've always been that way with my, with my sister and with my nieces and things like that, because it's necessary, because if no one says it, you may not know. You're a woman, that's your body, so you may not even know. And it's even like with a young girl. When you see a young girl dressing, no, that's too old. That's, someone has to step in and be a parent or give good advice, because you don't want to. It's a shame to say you love folks and don't give them advice that way. And it can be so inappropriate. And that's what made me, it was so strange to me. And I was like, well, this is the image that they are portraying of my sisters. I wouldn't, from that show, I wouldn't want one of them in my house, because they seem, I mean, it is just, wow. I did not know they were doing it like that. I've caught it sometimes. I now know why my uncle watched the show. Because it's very soft pornish almost. Yeah. Because the women are very much on display.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that show. I have no idea what. I don't do reality.
And now with the distancing and people at home, you see how you see the blocks that we have. So now it's even more focused.
Exactly. Let me do this. Let me go to Donald. Donald, what's on your heart? And Frank, coming to you next. What's on your heart, Donald?
Yeah. I guess I would say the three nationalities that I would for. First, a woman my daughter's age, or anywhere in that number, women that I go to church with, women that I work with, and those that are affiliated with DKN Radio. I ain't looking for no date. Get out of here. I come with what I need.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So I ain't looking. And don't look. You know what I mean? Because we get caught up in not having our priorities straight. Coming in the door. And some women and men know that. If you don't have yourself together, become trying. And if you don't know how to deal with that, you won't get caught up.
Exactly. Frank, what's on your heart?
I wanted to go back to a question that you guys asked about people getting too close to the pastor, and can that cause some issues? And it absolutely can, when people don't have balance. Leonard used the word balance several times when he was talking. And when I was dating, and I really wasn't dating, when I was looking for a wife, I'm one of those people, and I come from a place where I used to test relationships. Even when I was younger, just out there, I test my friends. Okay, let me see what you really about. Let me see, before I get in a position and get so comfortable with you that I put you in a place whether you know something about me that you really need to be my friend to notice, or I find myself in a place where I have an expectation of you that you're not willing to live up to. So I would friends. When my pastor and another brother at the church, we used to go to prayer every morning at 5 o'clock, and we would leave prayer and go to the gym and work out every day, Monday through Friday. And our relationship got to the point where he would begin to ask things of me with the expectation that I couldn't say no. So I had to test that relationship to see, once I told him no, how was he going to respond to me? And it was something simple. He wanted me to go to the movies with a group of people. I said, no, Pastor, I can't do that. I'm closing the church today. And he said, no, I can get somebody else to close the church. I said, no, it's my turn. I'll do it. Don't worry. I'll just miss this time. And he really was struggling with the fact that I was telling him no. But it got to the point where I don't care what he did, I wasn't going to the movie. Because I needed to know how he was going to accept no. Because you got to hear it. Everybody's got to hear no every once in a while. But we were flying back. We were putting the church in Atlanta, actually. And we were flying back from Atlanta, and I was flying back with him and his wife. And his wife asked me, had I considered this young lady in my evaluation of getting married? I said, yeah, I did. I said, that's not going to work. And I really wanted to, because of the relationship that I had with the first lady, I wanted to leave it there. I didn't want to go into explanations or anything like that. Let's let that be that. Yeah, I did consider it, but that's not going to work. But she kept pressing me. And she said, well, Frank, she's such a nice girl. She's pretty. You sure? What happened? I said, it's because of the relationship she has with your husband. And I can't have a wife that puts any man before me.
That's right.
And I already see that she will do that. So instead of me trying to wrestle with that thing in our marriage, let me just acknowledge what is already blatantly honest. If she's so loyal to your husband, she's blinded by it. And she ain't the one for me.
Exactly. Kurt, good morning, sir. Kurt, good morning.
Morning, man. Morning. What's going on, family? How y'all?
Hey, doing good, man. Kurt would have been here, man. I oversight on my thought. I sent him the link early this morning when I did everybody else, and he would have been here already. So don't
Don't cover the Kurt.
Don't dock his face.
I'm seeing some prejudice here, Raheem.
Prejudice.
I'm just saying, I came on apologizing and saying if I missed the turn because you called me and I wasn't, you was like, man, I called you like 4 or 5 times. You was out of place.
Well, I did.
Kurt, you gonna come in with
Frank, you ain't right, man.
Hey, Kurt, see how you doing? You right? He putting you out there.
Yeah, man. I worry about Frank right now, man, because I've been watching what's going on up there in Detroit, man, and that thing is getting worse and worse every day, man. They got things hanging with female dolls off of flags. They done start fighting amongst each. I worry about Frank and them, man, because
don't worry about me, Kurt. You see me inside of the bear, you help the bear, brother.
All right, baby. That's what's
Kurt, what we're talking about is, are you less than a man? Are you less than a man if you cheat?
Are you less than a man?
Yes, if you cheat. If you cheat on your spouse.
I ain't gonna say you less than a man. I'll say you less than a human being, though. I think it's even bigger than just gender. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always transparent, man. So I ain't always made the right decisions throughout my relationships. You know what I mean? In some, I've had to go to therapy. You know what I mean? Like I've good thing for me. God put me in a position to where I could get free therapy when I needed it. You know what I mean? Because therapy is expensive.
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't say you're less than a man. I would say that you're less than a human being. You're not in touch with your human emotion. Because if you really think about it, man, I think most people that cheat.
Should you be expected to be forgiven?
No. What's good? Listen, here's how my grandma and them raised me. Baby, what's good for the goose is always good for the gander. So if I am, and I done said this to some of my homeboys, I've been blessed to have lifelong friends. Like I don't, like a lot of my friends are lifelong friends. I'm 47, and most of my friends, my real friends, I have been friends with them since birth. So, our mamas pushed us in strollers together. But I mean, man, when you, how can I put this without sounding insulting? But when you step out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta understand and know that this could happen to me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? What makes you, oh, is it because you the man that this ain't supposed to happen to you? Then that tells me that you ain't understanding who you are as a man. You know what I mean? Like yo, if you do, you know, like the Bible says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So
mm-hmm.
if you just go by just that scripture, canons or text, if you just go by that and that alone, then as a man, you should know that, look, if this is what I'm doing, when it happens to me, I can't be upset. I've had friends that I really just checked them like, yo, hold on, what you mean? Like, how you gonna be mad at her, dude? You just tripped over a stick and landed on something. You know what I mean? And like, what you doing to her? She's what? Like, you ain't got no right to be angry about that, man. To me, that's a clear all sign. Oh, this cat a real jealous type of dude. So, or he a real selfish type of dude. So I don't need to let my mix be too. I don't need to mix with this guy too much.
Yeah.
With jealous people. Period.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Anna, let me ask you this question, Anna. Do you think, from a woman's viewpoint, do you think that men take being cheated on harder than a woman does?
Absolutely. It's a male ego thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some amazing guys, though, that through counseling, and I'll say it again, Christian marital counseling, because regular counselor, a lot of times they're just going to tell you, just get divorced. You know what I'm saying? But Christian, where it's going to be based on the Bible and based on truth, you know. So I've seen some amazing guys that have taken it. They've made their marriage work, and there's been a child out of wedlock. I mean, that's I think that's hard for a man. It's hard for a woman to take in, but imagine a man. And then, you know, I think it does have everything to do with the male ego. But I will say this: I'm Latina, and we're very fiery. I don't think you want to cheat on a Latina. You'll never forget it for the rest of your life. I'm just saying. Kurt might know that his woman don't play. Leonard, from his past marriage, might know his woman did not play about stuff like that, you know? So it's just a culture thing. I think we're just jealous by nature. So it might be something that, you know, in our situation within our culture, it's a little bit different. You know, we're very, very, very jealous by nature. Jealous because that's ours, you know, not in a jealous way, like, oh my God, I'm going to kill you. No, a jealous because we protect it. But I think that
sometimes they say they'll kill you. Sometimes they say they'll kill you.
Not a thin line between love and hate. No. But, you know, but I do think that men, in my opinion, it's an ego thing. Like, it's like, I'm the man, I'm the protector, I'm the provider. She just stepped out on me. It can't be. So I think it's a male ego thing. And that may be bad, because that might lead to death and other things, very serious things.
Absolutely. Donna, let me ask you this question. Donna, why is it that we take it so much harder?
Probably because we've been guilty of it more often. That's what I'm saying, man. Come on now. I know we can talk on the surface and play like or pretend like we hadn't done that, been there. But come on, be real. I mean, confession is good for the soul. I'm just saying. I mean, and you know, we brag on David, right? If we really want to justify some actions, we say, well, David was the apple of God's eye. You know, but that's the mentality of people. Have a tendency to look in another direction when they shouldn't. Let me say something else about and I don't talk much, but I'm talking now. So can give me a minute.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
There's perception of being married to the church. What's going on with that? There's so many, if it would come out with what's true, they live in this life. I had a pastor tell me that me and my wife said, when I was going through some things, he said, well, me and my wife been sleeping in different sides of the house for years, but they go to church like everything together. I'm not going to live like that.
No.
I'm not living like that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What church you married to? You need a divorce from that church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because we live for people, and we miserable. You say something else. And sometimes a person may have been put out there as a cheater, and he's moved on. I ain't cheating. I moved on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And people run their mouth about your past, and that's not where you are. You just living your life. And most of the time, Christian people, church people that don't know, especially when they don't know the word and they don't know God, they live for people and have people allow them to live miserable lives of secrecy. When it really comes out, they on the down low.
Good Lord.
Now run tell that.
Don't say
now
no.
Run tell that.
See, don't you know that's an exclamation point at the end saying now run and tell that. Run tell that. Elgin, what's on your heart, brother? Can the church or the woman spending so much time in the church destroy her marriage at home?
Most definitely. I'm really akin to the real life example that Frank gave earlier. Excuse me. I was courting a young lady, and that was one of the immediate things I saw that, no, we're not married now, so I'm not demanding anything of this person. But when we had a conversation, it was very, like Frank was saying, like, everything was about the pastor, like everything, even as we talked about, planning for our future, and that God has called me to ministry. Well, I like to put pastor's ministry first. I was like, oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to remember these first things first. All things should be done in decency and in order. And as I said already, I think when we first started this question, our first ministry is at home. It's not the church. It's right there at home with your husband and with your wife, because that can be the source of, let me say it this way, not doing so opens up many doorways for the enemy to slide in and come in and cause havoc in your marriage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's good. That's good. Mr. Flipper, are you with us still? Mr. Flipper must have taken off. He's still on the phone. He must have taken off. He might be on another call or something. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I'm really listening today because I haven't been the biggest relationship person.
Mm-hmm.
I've been married for most of my adult life, and it's a lot of trust building. I prefer a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad I'm beyond certain things, really.
Yeah.
Because what I've learned is other women really aren't my focus. I don't have a desire to develop a relationship with another woman. It's just, for me, it's too much. I mean, I couldn't imagine juggling that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I would mess up. I would clearly mess up.
Mm-hmm.
But
you'll drop the ball, brother.
Yeah. I'm just not. I don't pay attention enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it would always be really destructive for me, trying to hide it and things like that. And it seems as if your spouse would know.
I'm gonna tell you something, Len. I'm gonna tell you like this here, man. One of the reasons why people say, Raheem, you don't lie, and I say no. They say you don't lie. I say no, but I'm no good at it. I'm no good at it. I'm not a good liar.
Then I'm lazy.
Oh Lord.
I can't be hiding the phone and all that type of stuff.
Ain't time for all this stuff, man. Like I said, my phone, man. I have a lot of time. My grandkids have my phone.
Guess what I found out? And it was shocking to me that I put it on Facebook about when I first saw an upgrade to iPhone. That there's a secret text option. So I put it up there. I say, is it just me, or has everybody else known about this secret text thing? Because I just so happened to come up on my phone and I was like, well, I don't have any. So I didn't know it was an option. And I was like, so what are my secret texts? And I guess now there's a need to have a secret text message.
Wow.
And I thought about it. I said, y'all just creating stuff to get caught up on. Because if you think that woman ain't going to ask you about that secret text message.
They got some kind of, and I don't know what it is, man.
It's funny.
I've seen something, man. I can't remember what it was. It's some kind of site or something where, you know, if you're married and for cheaters or something like that, man. People was talking about that. A lot of celebrities getting caught up in that foolishness, man. Hold on for a minute. Let me unmute you. Hold on, Leonard. Let me unmute you, brother.
I heard. I actually seen that TV show. That was on a talk show, and I can't remember, but I think some lawsuits and stuff were filed about it because it was catering to married people who wanted other relationships. But that's the world. I mean, so that's what the world does. So, you know, it's bad enough that, you know, I've seen some people really consider it's a mistake they made. And it's just a bad mistake they made, and it can be worked through. I've seen a lot of people work through it. And if you love the person, I believe you should try to work through it.
Yeah.
If you can't, if that's your thing, hey, y'all work through that. But it's only for you two. Don't do it for nobody else.
Exactly.
You know, relationships do mature if you hang in there. And I've known a lot of people. I was raised with a lot of people who actually were together 40, 50 years. So, and I can tell you, ain't nobody sitting up there telling a spotless story. There are other babies involved, grown people. So, you know, folks have done. I know. Tell some people it's amazing when you outlive your lives.
Exactly. Let me go to Frank, and after Frank, I'm coming to Kurt. Frank, what's on your heart?
You know, Elgin touched on something about the young lady that he was considering when he was evaluating women, and she told him point blank, you know, well, the pastor's ministry comes first, and unfortunately, she probably thought that was honorable. You know, that maybe they could get back, you know, Pastor. I tell all of them that's interested in me, you know, your ministry comes first. That needs to be corrected. That foolishness needs to be corrected. But the thing about it is, and when you get into the business of ministry, when you get into where you understand what's going on with administration, and you guys are planning things years out, you're moving forward with the people that are causing things that God is speaking that vision into the set man, and he's getting those things done through different auxiliaries. You see that more. But the issue is, no matter what you're doing, and no matter, you know, what school of ministry you're going through or how much you study your Bible, you have to have a relationship with God. Because see, what would have happened is that God will begin to reveal to people who they're talking to. Even in that moment, if Elgin was her husband, God would have revealed to her, no, don't you say that to that man. Don't you say that to him. Do you not know who you're speaking to? You're about to speak to the person who's going to lord over your household. But see, unfortunately, people don't have that. They don't have a relationship with God. They do church. They understand religion. They understand how to come and go. They understand through business and other things how to be involved in auxiliaries and different ministries and how to make things happen. But you will curse your life you will absolutely curse your life if you begin to say things and believe things that are not of God. And first of all, it's not your pastor's ministry. It should be the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Come on. Come on. Good deal. Good deal. Kirk, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm just listening right now, right? I mean, I think we all traveling on the same road. I think we all going to the same destination. You know, I just, you know, paying attention to what's going on. Oh, I do want to throw this out there. Latest scientific studies actually show that more women think about committing adultery than men. It's crazy. More women think about it than men. So I'm gonna take it a step further. What is worse? The actual act of having an adulterous affair, or the thought of having an adulterous affair? If your man had an adulterous affair with a female 20 years ago, one night stand, one time, whop, boom, bam, that's it. Never talked to her again, never spoke to her again, never did anything. 20 years later, he come out and tell you. Is that worse? Or is it worse if he or she did not have the affair, but have been thinking about this one particular person for 20 years sexually? Which is worse?
What if their thoughts? What if their thoughts of that person? It's only when you are in it.
You know what the thoughts are right here, because we talking about cheating. Come on, brother.
No. Come on, brother. No. Listen what I said. I say, what if the thoughts that they have of that person is during the time where you are being intimate with your spouse, and they're thinking about this other person?
Yeah. What are the thoughts?
No. I didn't say what. No. I say, what if they're thinking of this?
Oh.
Come on.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I only say that because, you know, if we all are movie goers and movie watchers, if you watch the movie Eyes Wide Shut, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what the creator was trying to. That's exactly the message that the creator seemed like the creator was trying to put out there. He was trying to say, what if? What if you had an affair? What if your wife did not have an affair, but for 20 years had been thinking about this other man when you all engage in grown folk activity? Which is worse? I mean, you can honestly say, you know, well, I mean, you could say that she did not, you know, she ain't touch him, she ain't sleep with him, but she thought about him series of years. So sometimes I wonder which is worse. I mean, you know, but you know, we fall on scripture, and you know, I know the good book say something about a sin in thought is a sin indeed. So, you know, but you know, because we humans, we categorize sin. So if we categorize sin, well, which one is worse?
Let's go to Elton. What's on your heart, brother?
I like what the gentleman just said. That's kind of where I started. You know, we started talking about cheating, but man, it's so much to that whole thing. No one sin is greater than the next. And it's not to get license. You know, oh, ain't no sin greater than the next. I'm okay. I can do it. It's not to say that. I just think when we get caught up on looking at the sin, we forget the nature of sin and what it's designed to do. It's designed to ultimately to pull us away from God. So I like what the brother was just saying right there with that. And I would like to say also in regards to when we have these situations, when we're working, like the young lady I was talking about that I was courting, I was evaluating, as friend said, no, we had a conversation. I had to have a conversation. I just really encourage, and there's some men out there who do the same thing. I come from a background where there was another church that was in the network of associates that we knew. And when I tell you every woman in that church worshiped them, I'm saying just like this, worship that man like he was God. They would neglect their homes, they would neglect their children, to do what the pastor said. Pastor, you need to do this. I need to be there. And the pastor would tell them that was honorable for them to do that. I'm kind of disappointed in the pastor because he should have been sending them home. And that's honorable. I appreciate it, but you need to go home and take care of your family. Tend to your husband. And I just think that we have unfortunately made a lot of our pastors, once again, those are the beaten path, celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a dangerous thing when the star in the church is not Jesus, but it's the pastor. It's a dangerous thing when that happens. And I think many churches have gone shipwrecked because of it.
Exactly. Alan, what's on your heart?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think at the end of the day, because I know we're getting close in time, I think at the end of the day, we just, again, gotta set those boundaries from the beginning in any relationship, I believe. And I believe it should be something that's talked about. Look, this is okay. This is not okay. You can always have platonic friends. You just got to know, and that's something that I appreciate in people who can actually do it without overstepping the boundaries, without me having to hear, did you know so-and-so did this? And then you're like, oh, now I don't know what to do because I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to get involved. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that I think you just have to, if you have that lustful type of mind. And I laugh at Leonard because I'm like you, Leonard. I'm too lazy. Like, I don't have time. I don't have time. Like, that's too much work. Man, don't waste your time. It's just hard keeping up with, what if I say the wrong name? And it's just too much work. It's too much work. I mean, it's harder to cheat. And remember this, it's harder to cheat than to just stay faithful. Yeah. It's harder to cheat. And it's already hard to take care of that one, where's the camera? One relationship that you're dealing with. It's already hard enough to cover it the way that we know best, because we don't know how. We're learning day by day how to keep becoming one and how to keep molding that relationship and making it perfect for us, what works for us. So with that being said, if you have those lust type feelings, because I believe that that's what you're dealing with, lust. If you have those type of immoral feelings, fast and pray. That's my advice to you. And if anybody comes to me and, any of you guys were to come to me, look, and I tell you, look, my friend, you need to fast and pray and just lock yourself in a room, probably distance yourself from everybody for a while and deal within yourself, and then work on that and let God lead you on that. And I say that as a Christian. And even if you have done these acts, be honest with your partner, because they have a right to know. There's been people that I know that have been sleeping with a lot of women or a lot of men unprotected, and you could put somebody's life on the line. It's not cool. It's not okay. Exactly. So with that being said, pray, fast, ask God to lead you, follow him, and, I think you'll be able to fight whatever it is you're fighting.
Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I like what Anna said. I've just been listening a lot because I have a lot of female platonic friends. And that's one thing I always wanted to work on. And it's never to appear like most men.
Mm-hmm.
And I never, and the women I do know, I have the relationship with them. They all know I'm married and things like that. I've been a supervisor of women and just closeness with female friends. And it's an emotional quotient that men really need to work on. and it's so much better. My life is so much better because one, now trust me, I am very, very. I wouldn't say. I guess you could say lustful. I don't have a problem with it, but I love beautiful women. I mean, women are beautiful. I'm not gonna pretend they're not. I don't. It's not like a pretend where I don't pretend I don't see them or whatever. I just let them know it's not that type of party.
Yeah.
You know, I know women are weaponized. You know what I'm saying? So I never let my guard down around them because I mean, even to the point of where I was never alone with women in offices and things of that nature. You know, and then there are some women who would always, if they see another woman coming down the aisle that they don't recognize, to my office, you know, I'm gonna get some phone calls. Who is that going in your office, and why is she switching like that? You know, just funny things with women. Mm-hmm. And so I've learned, you know, a lot about them and how to. There's a lot more to manhood too, and being able to control that. So I enjoy that part of letting a woman know that she can't use that against me. I think I enjoy that more by being able to let a woman know that's not gonna work.
Yeah. Keeping your power.
Right. I'm more into that, I think, which makes it easier for me because it would be a shame to be intelligent, to have accomplished something, and two breasts destroy all that.
Exactly.
That's crazy to me.
Oh my Jesus.
It happens, bro. I mean, I can see it. I mean, it happens.
Throughout history, absolutely. Let me do this. Let me go to Donald. What's on your heart right now, brother? We're putting a lot out there, man. We better get out of here in just a second or two. But what's on your heart? Toussaint?
I guess the main thing. I guess the main thing is just, first of all, I wouldn't say that he's less than a man, but he just don't have his stuff together. That's an expensive habit or issue, or problem, because women are expensive and men are expensive. So if you got two, you spend twice as much money. You wasting your time and money and effort. It's just crazy. And let me tell you what I know. Somebody told me. By the way, tell you what I know. So
Good deal. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? Don't say somebody told him.
No, I was gonna say the same thing that you said, Raheem. People do what they do because of several different reasons, and some people do what they do because they actually have purpose, and then some people do what they do because they actually have sicknesses. I just think people have to respect each other enough to, you know what, the world we living in now, you can just lay that out there. Realistic, honestly, you don't have to cheat anymore. Like, realistically, it's easier to find a lady or a man who is down with a menage a trois than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You know, certain that was in the closet 10 or 20 years ago, that they not in the closet no more. Like, even the ability to have sex has become extreme almost. You know, people are pushing limits and pushing buttons and pushing boundaries. So it's just a different world than the world that we came up in. I just tell folk that, you know, you gotta keep in your mind, honestly, man, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Keep you out of prison. That's what's gonna keep you from getting hurt. like at the end of the day, you know, I know scripturally, you know, we supposed to, you know, you're supposed to wait until you married to have sex and this, that, and the third. And that's God's word. So we stand on that. But is that what's really happening in the world? So if that's not what's really happening in the world, then I think we have to address what's really happening in the world too. We can try and lead and say, look, you know, hold that off until, you know, you get married. But at the end of the day, we still got to deal with the simple fact that this is happening. And I told both my sons and all the kids that I've worked with over the years, you know, hey man, if you doing A, you can't be mad if she start doing B.
Exactly.
You don't have that right. That's just my opinion though. You don't have that right to be angry with somebody for doing B if you're doing A and they both the same thing. You just right away from you. So
good deal. Good deal. It's time for us to get out of here. I want to somebody wanted to say something. I heard somebody about to say something.
I did want to say something. That wasn't me who spoke up, but so I won't try to portray like it was me. So I'll yield to you that ever was, but I do have something to say.
Okay. Somebody wanted to say something. Who was that just now? Okay, go ahead, Frank.
You know, real quick, I do want to put this out here because I believe it will help all of us. You know, and I've said this, you know, on countless occasions that one of the things that a lot of men use to try to control and to cause their wives to submit in an area where it should just happen naturally is when they begin to talk about, you know, your body and whose body it is. That once you get married, that's not your body, it's also your husband's, and you're not to keep it from him. But the heart of that scripture is really not for the receiver. Well, it is, but it is so that that man is satisfied or that woman is satisfied, that you're satisfying an area of that other person's life where that's not something that the enemy can use when he's out working or away from the house or away from you, that as his wife or as her husband, that you are meeting their needs. But with that said, I want to say this. We should take that same attitude with everything. We should be nice to our spouses. We should be attentive. We should be listeners. We should be witty. We should take care of our personal hygiene. We should dress up for our spouses. We shouldn't get married and just fall apart. We should stay in shape for our spouses. We should, all these things that will continue to cause them to look to you. Now, a lot of people should say, well, you shouldn't have to do all that for your wife. Okay. All right. I tell you what, you walk around your house looking like a nut, and your wife is working in a Fortune 500 company or a law firm, and these jokers are walking by her in $1,500 suits, smelling good, haircut. You know, she got something to say. They're listening to her. Now, I'm not saying that she will do it, but you're putting a challenge before her that shouldn't be there. Now, you shouldn't compete with these men because you shouldn't have to, but you need to keep yourself together and tight. You need to make her a priority. You need to make her the focus of everything. And all of these things should come out of your relationship with God on how you are to treat your wife. Love her as Christ loved the church.
Exactly. Well, listen, I'm looking at the clock, y'all. It's time for us to get out of here for today, man. This has been a great conversation, a great discussion. And I say this right here. If you feel as though you can't be committed, if you can't go into this thing wholeheartedly, you might not want to do it. You might not want to do it because it is you. Not only your feelings and your emotions and all this stuff are involved, you also have another person's family member. You got there's a whole circle of people that could be hurt by a selfish decision that you make. by a very selfish decision that you make. So make sure that you take all that stuff into account. Kurt, I see something on your heart. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? I can't hear you.
You know, nah. I just you know, I just want to say to everybody, a healthy relationship is a selfless relationship. I'm gonna say it again. A healthy relationship is a selfless relationship. It's not independent in no kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. But independence that is there is the independence, the respect of independence. But truthfully, we all push, we all travel with it, we all are going in the same direction. So I just, you gotta throw that out there. The act of sex is most of the time for personal gratification, and maybe folks need to consider, am I really being gratified? I mean, I don't want to insult nobody, you know what I mean? The average man, I think scientifically they say the average man only got, I think it's 50 strokes in him,
All right, Kurt, we stopping right there, Kurt. Hold on. We stopping right there. You took a turn on me, brother. Hold on. Let him what's on your heart, man. Hold on what Kurt just went to. Kurt just took a turn. Kurt took a turn. What's on your heart, Leonard?
Man, I'm just listening to Kurt really put the icing on the cake for me today. Really. I would, like you say, relationships are a huge responsibility, and that's why a lot of people are not moving into these grand relationships. Because nobody got time for disappointment. Yeah. A lot of folks ain't married. A lot of folks are doing things other than what the church say do. Then I'm just really sometimes intrigued by the amount of whoring that goes on in the church.
Wow.
For the very simple fact that, I've never been privy to that type of thing. I don't, get into it like that. And, God bless those folks that are leading people and doing that. Y'all really, them folks really need to work on themselves. And because of their position, you need to work on it a lot more. But outside of the church or what have you, I think we have to look at that as from a relationship point of view and preparing people for it, especially young people, because now we've taught our children that promiscuity and things like that are almost okay. When you tell somebody to go sow your oats first, that's something, go try sin first. So that was the only thing and I think that's why I stayed married, because that's what I tried a lot first. So it's a maturity process. I'm so glad I've gotten through it, that where I'm not led around by my crotch. You know what I'm saying? But really think about who you're tying yourself to. I would advise men, it's okay for a woman to be beautiful, but if she does not hold your attention, there will be a problem.
Good deal.
Don't get married and have another passion somewhere else.
Your body's in with
No, that you can't do that. Oh my God.
You're messing me around. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Donald, what's going on, Donald? I knew Donald was gonna say something. Donald, what's going on?
Where's Bishop when you need him?
Your heart said, you haven't had to go through some of those tough things. That's your heart telling you that. So here, but when you go through the areas of life, like one relationship to the other, mainly divorce. Then you get into the avenue of the naysayers saying whether or not you're cheating or not versus moving on. So bless your heart, Leonard. I don't know if maybe others hadn't gone through that, but some people are dogs for the rest of their life because they choose to move on with life. But this is a good conversation. There's so many avenues that we can go to, but we're out of time.
Yeah, and actually, we're going to get out of here. Leonard, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir? Talk to me. Hold on, let me unmute you real quick. What's going on at 3 o'clock today?
If you did not get a chance to hear this show in its entirety, you can log on to www.dknradio.com for a repeat of this show.
Absolutely. And you know I'm coming to you to pray us out. Come on.
I can't even be serious right now, as hard as I'm trying to. Y'all killed me with this show today. Y'all really did.
It took a turn in the end now. It took a turn.
Yeah, I was really serious about this whole week. I was like, this is gonna be a good week. And y'all killed me this week. Y'all killed me starting Monday. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, see where you guys are going with this, but let's get ready to pray. I'm trying to change my mode here. Stop it, Leonard. Stop. I ain't gonna look. I'm gonna flip this camera. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this show today, and I thank you for, I guess, showing the different aspects of the point of view of men and women, and I guess the history of, what people think and what not they don't think. Please, if anybody has these temptations, lead them to you and take these thoughts out of their mind and lead them to people that are going to help them get through this stumble that they're going through. And if it's something that they continue to do, please just forgive them. And when they ask for forgiveness, make it a thorn to be around them, anything that's a temptation of that manner. We thank DKM Media Group and Associates for everything that they bring across the table, especially Raheem, because he's the one that, is the head of all of this, for all these shows that we have all through the week and all through the year. I please ask for you to please continue protecting people with the COVID-19 and clearing this out of this, our nation and across the world. And I please ask you to please guide us all and protect us all from all sin, if at all possible, and that we keep seeking you through everything. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. We are about to get out of here for today. It is now, what time is it? 9:13. It's about 9:13. We're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take that light out into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Let your light shine. Let me see something here. Frank, are you still with us? Let me see. Is Frank still with us? I think we might have lost him. Frank, you still with us? No, I think we lost him. Okay, good deal. I was gonna ask him. I had a question. Tucson.
I'm feeling like I'm here.
Give us one minute of a closing word. Give us 1 minute of a closing word, sir.
Oh man, you gonna mess me up. Look at here. In all the trouble that we got going on in life today, we don't have time to play games. I mean, we got one choice to make. Well, whether you want to go to heaven or hell. Whether you want to just live for Christ, live for God, whoever your master is, whoever your God is, there's only one God. We come through Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You need him in your life today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow's not promised to none of us. It's not because of coronavirus. It's because time is winding up.
Exactly.
That's about it.
Good deal. Good deal. And on that note, we're about to get out of here again. I love each and every one of you. You all have a great day. And take the time, take an opportunity if you have that time. And I'm sure you do. And love someone.
Yes, love them.
Love you. Take care and have yourself just the best day.